بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In a battle with the Romans, some Muslims were taken as prisoners of war. So the Roman king, when he heard that one of them was a Sahabi, he was so happy. He said, "Bring me, I want to meet him." The Sahaba, by now, there were so many legends surrounding them and news going around the globe about these special men, a Sahaba of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So they were just fascinated, they wanted to see a Sahabi. So the Roman king said, "Bring him to me." Because the Sahaba, one counts as an ummah. One man is equal to an ummah. That was the product that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam left behind. So they brought Abdullah Ibn Hudhafah. And this Roman king is now thinking, he's thinking about how to make use, capitalize on the Sahabi. So he said, "I want you to marry my daughter." Apparently he used to think there's something special about the genes of the Sahaba. He wants that to be carried down the line by him marrying him to his daughter. So this is the daughter of the Roman king. She's going to marry this Sahabi. Their children are going to be Superman. But he set a condition that you become Christian. He said, "I won't." He said, "Listen, you marry my daughter and I'll give you half of my kingdom." Abdullah ibn Hudhafah said, "No way. I'm not giving up my religion." Brothers, don't take this as a tale. Think about it. Half the kingdom. Some Muslims are selling out today for a miser salary, for peanuts. They're betraying the ummah. They're spying on the Muslims for nothing. يَبِيعُونَ دِينَهُمْ بِعَرْضٍ مِّنَ الدُّنْيَا قَلِيلٍ. They're selling their religion for a very miser price, for nothing. They're giving up Islam. They're committing riddah. And this Sahabi is offered half the kingdom. Half the kingdom. He says no. You know when you say no to these people, how much it hurts them? I'm offering you my daughter. I'm a king. Nobody ever said no to me in my life. And I never offered my daughter to anyone in my kingdom before, and you say no. And then I give you half of my kingdom and you say no. The people of dunya, they have fought so much to get dunya. When they see somebody who's not attached to it, it drives them crazy. It is as if you're insulting me and telling me that I wasted my life for something that is wrong. You know, it's not as if you're telling me this dunya is not worth it. What do you mean? You're refusing half of my kingdom, I'm offering you my daughter and you say no? So he said, bring the al-baqarah. Al-baqarah is this, apparently this huge container, bowl, that looks like a cow. And it's used for burning alive. They would fill it with oil and they would just set fire to it, and the oil would boil. Imagine oil just with smoke coming out of it, because they set it on fire for so long that it was boiling. And then they bring one of the Muslims and they throw him in that boiling oil. The narrator said it wasn't very long after that Muslim was thrown in the boiling water that his bones started sticking out. It is so hot that his flesh was fried, the bones came out. You know when you fry, if you take for example chicken and you fry it, the bone sticks out because the flesh shrinks. It loses all of the water vapor in it and it shrinks. So the bone sticks out. That is what happened to this Muslim prisoner of war. And that was occurring in front of the eyes of Abdullah ibn Hudhafah. So the king told him, "Are you going to give up your religion now? Otherwise we're going to throw you in that boiling oil." He said, "I'm not going to give up my religion." So they said, "Throw him in that oil." They picked him up. Abdullah started to cry. They went to the king and said, "He's crying." The king said, "Bring him back. He's crying, he has weakened. He has weakened. We got him. Bring him to me." He said, "All right, are you ready to give up your religion?" Abdullah said, "Don't think that I cried because of fear of death. But the reason I cried is because I remember that I only have one soul, and my soul is going to leave now. So the reason I cried is because I wanted Allah to give me 100 souls so that I could die this death 100 times for the sake of Allah. I wasn't crying because I was afraid of death. I was crying because I wanted to die as a shaheed 100 times. In another narration he said, I wanted to have souls the number of hair that I have on my skin, so that I could give them for the sake of Allah one after another. I think that's a level of iman that we can't even comprehend. Allahu Akbar. And that tells you, brothers and sisters, this religion is not a religion of talk. It's not a religion of showing off how much knowledge you have. This religion is about your willingness to sacrifice for Allah Azza wa Jal. Abdullah Ibn Hudhafah Sahmi proved his iman at that particular moment. It is mawaqif that show who you are. Mawqif is a standing point in your life. At moments of ease, everybody could be equal, and you don't really know what's going on. But when the fitna hits, that's when the truth comes out of the heart. So when the fitna hit Abdullah ibn Hudhafah, the true Abdullah ibn Hudhafah was revealed. Nobody knew, Umar ibn Khattab or anybody else, nobody knew who Abdullah ibn Hudhafah was. They knew him as a Sahabi, but they didn't really know what was inside him. But this mawqif, this standing point, revealed the reality, al-Iman. It was the willingness to sacrifice for Allah Azza wa Jalla and to give his soul one after another. You know, this was what makes the Sahaba special. And that was something that the people around them couldn't comprehend. I mean, with, for example, this delegation of Qurra, the memorizers of Qur'an, which Rasulullah sent out to Najd, that were betrayed. You know, when one of the Sahaba came in to meet with the leader of the tribe gave his signal, so a man came with a spear and stabbed the Sahabi from behind him. So the blade came out from the front. So imagine the Sahabi. He was surprised, he was attacked, he was caught off guard. He didn't know that somebody was planning to kill him. It was a surprise to him. And then he sees a spear sticking out of his stomach. What did he say? A big smile on his face, and he said, Fustu wa Rabbul Kaaba. I have won in the name of Allah. I've won. One man who was present, he said, I couldn't forget that. That statement stayed in my mind. How could somebody say, I won, when they're dying? And since he didn't know anything about Islam, he went asking about this. And then he became Muslim. SubhanAllah, the Sahaba are even giving da'wah when they're dying. So the king, when he saw Abdullah ibn Hudhafah and his determination, he was embarrassed. You know, he wanted to get something out of Abdullah. He can kill him, but he felt that his pride was insulted. So now the issue with the king wasn't killing Abdullah ibn Hudhafah. The issue was, I want to get something out of this man. He has to give in. He has to give me something. So he told Abdullah ibn Hudhafah, I'm going to free you if you're just going to kiss my forehead. Look at this. Just kiss my forehead. I'll let you go. Give me something. He's begging Abdullah ibn Hudhafah, the Roman king, give me something. Kiss me on my forehead. Abdullah ibn Hudhafah thought about it and he said, only if you're gonna set me free and also set all of the Muslim prisoners of war free. The king said, I agree. Abdullah ibn Hudhafah kissed him and he got all of the Muslims free. Abdullah ibn Hudhafah goes back to Medina. Umar ibn Khattab hears the story. He goes to the masjid. Abdullah ibn Hudhafah is there. All of the Muslims are there. He stands up. Umar ibn Khattab said, it is an obligation on every Muslim to kiss the forehead of Abdullah ibn Hudhafah, and I'm going to be the first. And he kisses the forehead of Abdullah ibn Hudhafah because he saved the Muslims. He saved the Muslim prisoners of war. Sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam tasliman kathira.